Your dog fell asleep on the floor an hour ago. Nothing happened. No walk, no visitor, no change in routine. And yet, right now, their body is telling you something they have no way to say out loud. Most owners think a sleeping dog is just resting, off, paused, but dogs don't switch off the way we do. Every position they choose is a decision made by an animal that spent thousands of generations learning that sleep is the most dangerous thing it does all day. So when your dog finally lets its guard down in front of you, the way it does that is not random, it's a report. By the end of this, you won't just recognize these positions, you'll start noticing the exact moment your dog's body language shifts from resting to trusting, and you'll understand why that shift is happening at all. Let's start with the one almost every dog does at some point: the tight curl, nose tucked near the tail, paws pulled in close. Here's what you're looking at on the surface: a dog trying to stay warm. That's the explanation most people stop at, but temperature is only the surface reason. The deeper one is exposure control. Curled like this, your dog has covered its throat, its belly, its groin, every soft, vital part of its body, in a single motion. This is a defensive shape, borrowed directly from wild canines who couldn't afford to sleep any other way. What it reveals is that some part of your dog, even in your living room, is still running old software. It's not scared of you. It's running a program that's older than you. The surprising part is that this position tends to show up more, not less, in dogs who've recently been stressed. A new home, a loud storm, an unfamiliar guest. Watch for it after a hard day. It's a small, honest signal that something reset your dog's sense of safety back to zero. Now compare that to the opposite extreme: legs splayed out at odd angles, belly fully exposed to the ceiling. Most people see this and just think cute or hot. And temperature does play a role. A dog's underside has thinner fur and better airflow, so this posture helps them cool down. But that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is what it costs your dog to lie like this. The belly holds every organ a predator would target first. An animal only exposes that when its nervous system has fully stood down. This isn't comfort. It's a vote of confidence, and your dog is casting it about you, specifically, because you're the one they chose to sleep in front of. Most people stop there satisfied with, "My dog trusts me," but there's a layer underneath that. Trust isn't static. It's recalculated constantly, in the background, every single time your dog closes its eyes near you, which means every belly-up nap is a fresh decision, made again and again. Not a fact your dog decided once and forgot. That's the real story starts one layer deeper. Because if trust has to be renewed, it can also erode. And that brings us to a position most owners misread entirely: the half-lidded doze near a doorway or the edge of a room. On the surface, it looks like your dog is barely asleep at all, eyes at half-mast, ears twitching at every sound. Most people assume this means the dog is uncomfortable or that something's wrong. It's not. What's actually happening is a state called light phase alertness, where your dog's brain lets the body rest while a thin layer of awareness stays online, almost like a night shift guard who never fully clocks out. Dogs positioned near doorways, hallways, or the edge of furniture are choosing a vantage point on purpose. They've assigned themselves a job. What this reveals is a dog that has appointed itself the household's early warning system, whether you asked it to or not. Here's the part that tends to land hardest. Dogs don't do this for strangers. They don't stand watch over people or spaces they don't feel responsible for. A dog dozing in a doorway isn't anxious. It's on duty. And the fact that it chose your doorway means it considers this territory worth guarding. We're now about halfway through this, and here's where it gets bigger than a list of postures. Every position so far has been about space, how much of the body your dog is willing to expose, and where it chooses to do it. But there's a second layer running underneath all of it: proximity. Not just how your dog sleeps, but who it sleeps near. And that changes the entire meaning of everything we just covered. Take the dog that presses its spine against yours on the couch, or wedges itself between your legs at night. Most people read this as clinginess, but physically pressing your body weight against another creature while unconscious is one of the least defensible things an animal can do. You can't react to a threat fast from that position. Dogs do it anyway, because the behavior isn't inherited from fear. It's inherited from litters. Puppies pile together because shared body heat and shared vigilance kept them alive before their nervous systems were fully formed. An adult dog that still does this hasn't grown out of that instinct. It's telling you, in the clearest way a dog can, that it has reclassified you as litter mate. Not owner, litter mate. That reclassification is the whole point of this video. Every curled paw, every exposed belly, every twitching ear near a doorway, none of it is really about sleep. It's your dog constantly answering one question: is it safe to stop watching? And the answer it gives, night after night, is a running record of exactly how safe it feels its whole life actually is. There's one more piece worth knowing: the slow circling a dog does before finally lying down, sometimes 3, 4, 5 times in the same spot. It looks like fussiness. It isn't. That circling is a dog checking terrain that, evolutionarily, might have hidden a threat, flattening ground that might have needed flattening, generations after either problem stopped existing. Watching your dog do this is watching a piece of ancient behavior play out in a space that has never once needed it, and your dog still runs the check anyway every time because the instinct doesn't know the danger is gone. Only the dog's choice of where to finally lie down, near you, against you, inside of you, belongs to the present. There's one last piece of this that most people notice constantly, but never think to ask about: the twitching, the soft paw paddling, the quiet muffled bark, the eyes moving fast under closed lids while the rest of your dog stays completely still. It's easy to assume something's upsetting them, like they're trapped in a bad dream. But that twitching is actually a sign of deep, uninterrupted rest, a stage called REM sleep, where the brain stays almost as active as it is awake, replaying and sorting through the day. Research on canine brain activity suggests dogs dream in fragments of real memory, not abstract stories, which means the version of you your dog spent all day watching might be the exact thing showing up behind their closed eyes right now. That's not a nightmare. That's your dog rehearsing a day that had you in it. So the next time your dog drops into that tight curl, or rolls belly up in a patch of sun, or presses its back against yours, you're not watching them switch off. You're watching an animal quietly redecide one more time that you're safe to sleep in front of. That's not nothing. For a species built to survive by never fully resting, it might be the closest thing to a compliment they know how to give. If understanding your dog on a deeper level fascinates you, that's exactly what this channel is here to explore.